Hi, Camaleónicas! Welcome to this new episode of Camaleónicas TV. I'm so grateful that we finally started, and as I promised like long time ago, I will have a very special guest with me tonight, who is Marco. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you so much. You to make me come as a guest on your podcast. We was been waiting like 2 months to this moment,
Yeah.
and finally the moment arrived. So we are here.
It's been such a pleasure to meet you for the last year, and oh my god, it's been a year.
It's been a year
Yeah.
because we meet exactly when the pageants for 2024 start for Miss Teen Universe. Because actually, we meet on an activity for the Miss Teen Universe organization in Miami.
Yeah, we meet for Miss Cuba.
Yes, Miss Cuba Teen Universe.
Yes.
No, Miss Teen Universe Cuba.
And tell me something about that. How actually your path started in all this world of Miss Teens Universe and Miss Hispanic.
Basically, this started when I arrived to the United States on 2017. I was a student on the high school, and on my high school was this group of students called Latinos in Action. It is a community that goes since the universities until the high school, where this is there to support the ESOL students, the students that are coming from another country, to find the tools that they need to success on the United States. Because when you come from other country, sometimes it's more hard to you get exactly where you want. They create this pageant called Miss Latina, and to my surprise, the director after the first year have to left the school because it moved to China because he was a social worker, and they called me, Marcos, we have this pageant. We don't have have someone to become the director. Do you will be interested to become the national director? And I was kind of surprising, but I was a little bit scared too. Because to me, some people think that pageants are like superficial, or they are into just walk nicely. But pageants are so much more far. You really need to be a professional on imaging, strategies of image, body language, the way how you talk, the way how you dress. It's so many disciplines together on the same time. But I said, okay, I don't have the tool to really became right now a national director, but I can get it on the time that I will be the director. I can get all those tools, and my mother always tell me, maybe you don't have all the knowledge that you could want for achieve something, but you can find someone that can help you. And absolutely, that was exactly what I did. I was partnering with so many amazing professionals like Ligia Petit. She was participant on the Miss Venezuela, I think 2002. I think 2002. And it's so funny because actually the winner of the Miss Latina 2019, after she won the Miss Aveda Airmont 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it was a really nice start for me on the industry, and after I see how I can help someone to be more confident with herself, how to grow. Because to me, when you start to be a beauty queen, I say that you start as a woman, and even if you win or not, you left as a queen, because you get out of your comfort zone in so many ways, and you grow extremely a lot. Because it's so many things that you never was considering that you went to be doing, and you actually end in doing it. For example, being exposed, being on camera, makeup different, doing your hair different, because you cannot look like yourself. You have to look like a beauty queen. So on the beginning they feel like awkward, but on the end they told me sometimes it was tough, but I feel like it was a really nice path with you, Marco, and that made me feel they have a special talent that I have to give to them.
Something that you said that I feel it's very important. You have to look like a beauty queen. And I remember the day we met that I was invited to be part of the workshop or speaker for these teenagers. And you know me, I never wear makeup, basically, basically no makeup, especially if you compare it to beauty pageants and beauty queens, or nowadays everybody in Miami, let's be honest about that too. And I was like, okay, what do I know that I can share from my perspective of being a woman point of view with these teenagers. And I know you can put me in any stage and I can just beat your asses, girls. So that's something that I always tell people. What you project, what you do on, not just on camera, but actually what you do with yourself, that was something very important. So basically my time of speaking to them was about that, about how when you project something, you will see yourself as a queen, how you are going to be seen all the time in front of everybody during the pageant, more about your body expression. And actually, without knowing them, just their names because they introduce themselves, just the way they sit, I already knew who was going to be the winner. And that girl was a winner.
Really?
Yes.
I was, I have I have another favorite. But I have two in the end, and one of those wins. But the other one was actually my favorite. But you got in the kind of on the target because yours actually was the one that wins.
Yeah, I feel like it's again, it was the body expression, the one who told me who was more prepared to
And
do
confident.
it. And confident, exactly.
I think that it's not only the way how you see it, it's the way how you express yourself to other one, and how that person make you feel with your presence.
Okay, so I have a question for you. How do you feel when you met me? And then I told you.
Well, it's so fun because, on this industry, sometimes the people is kind of, I don't want to say they are mean, but sometimes the people is into themselves.
Yes.
And I understand because sometimes when you are on the artistic industry, you are running on hallways, doing your own things. But I just arrived there, without any expectation, trying to be nice with everyone. And actually it was a really nice surprise because she was with your friend. I don't remember her name. Mm-hmm. She was so nice and cute and sweet. And we was talking a little bit and you was so nice. I was, I didn't know that you was actually a journalist and you do all this journey professionally. But, I just find you so like a nice person, and you was so into help them, to be more about themselves. So I was thinking that you maybe was like a coach, personal coach or something like that. That was my first perception of you.
Yeah, I feel like when I met you, the interesting part, as you said again, is that, oh my God, this guy knows what he's doing, and he actually, again, he actually wants to help them. Like, as you said, people maybe is a little bit more, I don't know if the word spoiled, selfish, self-centered, I don't know, in the industry in general, not
Yes.
just the beauty pageants, it's in general. In the entertainment industry, it happens a lot. And I felt like when we talk, it was like immediate connection.
Yes.
I want to hang out with this guy. And he knows what he's doing.
Actually, I don't know if you remember, but we was in a room.
Yeah.
And the half of the room was not talking to us, and we was on the other half talking between us.
Yes.
And I have another history why that was happening, but we need to talk in another podcast. But it's exactly what you said. Sometimes they are so into themselves. But was so nice because we was sharing so many comments, and we have the same expectation because we only have like 10 minutes with each one of them, but we was trying just to be able to give them something really really nice to keep and keep it for them on their journey of the pageant and take it forever on the life. Because I think when you're a beauty queen, every tool that you got is going to help you to be a success woman. Mm-hmm. Because who don't need speaking classes, who don't need modeling classes, present, makeup, hair. I think that they learn to become a professionally on the way how they present themselves.
Exactly.
And I think that the new generation is really needing that because they are so into be behind the phone, but they are not into be on person. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that is something that most likely even in the future is going to be harder for them become people to the artist industry. But I think the ones that do it they are gonna be so successful.
Yeah, totally true. Nowadays, as you said, the phone is actually making things harder in connection everywhere.
Yes.
And coming from that, at the same time...
but you didn't know to tell me your question. What do you think about me? Because I told you what I think about you.
Well, I was saying, I see that he was very smiley. He was very friendly. You actually were like talking, so I was a person that I can learn from you. That's something I thought that, hey, you are a person who helps, who actually shows a lot of good vibes, and that you can actually express yourself and not hide yourself, which is also very important, that you have an opinion and you're not scared to talk about that.
Yes, and it's so funny because sometimes the people says, "Oh, Marcos is so into himself and he's so hard to work with me," and it's not like that when you actually became my partner on professional plans. But the thing is, like, I don't like to be trying things that for me they don't work. What is mean? When you become a professional on something, you learn how you need to do the things in a certain kind of way. What are the procedures? Because if you are trying to do things without having a plan or just to try, I don't like it, because more when on this industry, because you and I we coach or prepare someone for the cameras and everything. If that person fail, okay, it's your fault because you are behind her, but it's actually she's the one that's gonna be in front of the camera, being facing her own mistake, because the people is not gonna tell you, oh, maybe the ones that know you, they're gonna know that you was the responsible.
Yes.
But when you are, well, she's the one that she's facing the camera, she's facing the public, and for me, I try to make the pageantry and the modeling coaching extremely fair, because I want to give the best for my beauty queens. I try to keep a really nice environment and a fair and justice environment, because for me, I'm a person that really believes on the meritocracy. I think that everything have to be based on your actions and your effort, not on the interest. So that could be, I think, one of the biggest things that some people don't like, because sometimes the industry works under interest more than talent. But I really try to work following the path that I know and trying to give the best to my beauty queens. No only make them feel that this is about what they walk and what they wear. It's so much more further, because they need to learn how to present yourself. You need to learn what is your purpose on life. Because I always tell to my beauty queens, okay, I'm going to make you a question. Why you want to become a beauty queen? And to that question, I ask you, why you want to do that? And then I do another question, why you want to do that? So on the end of those three questions, she have one reason. And that reason is what is making her become a beauty queen. So for me, that reason is so precious, and I need to protect it and take care of it. That sometimes when you have really strong values and a strong professionalism, because you study to can be able to help them on the right way, some people around that don't like it, because you put someone too bright when other ones are not sparkling in the same way. So that creates an environment of competition, and I'm not scared to competition, because I think that if you know what you bring, you cannot be always the best, because always you want to be someone better than you. But you can be sure and you can feel secure about your work when you do everything with passion, talent, and trying the best of the best of each people on your teamwork.
And I remember once you told me that even one of your first, or maybe your first runway with a miss, you were not that fluent in the language, and still you make people recognize you on that runway with the model. So what would you say to the people who is also afraid, that sometimes I feel like in the world of beauty pageants, girls are afraid to try for those reasons, like, hey, I don't know the language, or I'm not tall enough, or maybe there is some ways, like,
Okay.
find the weakness and not actually something that could be a good tool for you.
Okay, well, I will tell them that do exactly what I'm doing now. For example, as soon as I got here, you told me, Marcos, let's try on English the interview, and I feel that even when I can express myself, sometimes I don't have the most perfect structure on the language. But the life is about trying your best and really try yourself, and with so much elegance, and try yourself with just the desire to be better each day. And maybe it's not going to come out perfect the first time. Maybe you're going to start seeing things that you want to do better. But the big changes or the big things start with small actions. So maybe you feel that you don't have the best runway, but you can learn the runway. Maybe you feel that you are not tall enough, but maybe you have the attitude that someone so tall don't have. So I always think if you have a dream, pursue it. But this is the thing: the people on the actuality world, they say, "Oh, everything is okay." And for me, everything is not okay.
It's everything is
Everything is not okay because for me, of course, I'm really supporting inclusion. When you told me, for example, that it's a woman that don't have one leg, it's a woman that have a strong history, it's a woman that she don't have the same access education, but she have the talent and she have the she's so hunger to have those opportunities, and you say, okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity, even when you don't have all these abilities, and maybe someone have the access to it, but sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's life. But to me, what you cannot negotiate is, for example, the beauty queen have to be a person that have to look extremely fit, because you sell a healthy image. You sell an image to work with another brands. Okay, and you are a beauty queen, so beauty is proportion and balance. So for me, that is extremely important. But that doesn't mean that I think that the girls have to look like they're going to be bulimic. You understand what I mean? So you have to try everything with balance and without going to the extremes, and explaining to the girl what is the middle point and why you are doing this. Because, for example, they say you have to be skinny. You have to be skinny. One day I was fighting with one of the. I mean, it was not fighting, but I was like. Imposing myself, because we was working with this agency, and they told to my queen, you have to be more skinny. And I told them, okay, why you want them to be more skinny? Oh no, because for me they look fat. It's not about if for you looks fat.
And she was a teenager? She.
No, I mean, yes. Yes. I think that she have like 17 years old.
Oh my god, yeah.
But that's when my work started. And I came and I say, okay, I want you to tell me, because, for example, when I coach beauty queens, I coach them based on sizing. I measure their body and on weight, because even some people have more bonesy, their bones are more weighty than the other ones. But, and I was on that agency, and I told to the agency owner, okay, you told me you want her to be more skinny. Why? Because you don't like it? That you don't like it is not enough. If she have the good measurements, if her skin looks at the way how it should look, if she's looking brighter and nicer, and she can wear something that a mannequin wears, what is your purpose to make her skinnier? Because you like that is not enough. You need to have a professional point of view. You need to have a standard.
Yes.
And that standard have to be realistic, because of course, when you work in the video industry, it's like when you are a drawing. Not everybody can draw, and that is no exclusion. That is a reality. Not everybody can be part of the beauty industry, but you don't have to feel someone bad just because you don't like their art, for example. You need to have a standard. So, and that's exactly what I told you. So many people don't like about me, because I know how you should work on this industry, and I always tell them why. And some people don't have the fundamentals to really establish their point of view,
or just because they want it, and it's not a real reason. It's more like that's selfishness, maybe, or that like,
or maybe
nobody tell him no before.
Yes, or maybe because it's more convenient on certain kind of way to you.
Yes. Because that's something I learned here in US, since I came from the world of communications, marketing, that I never shut up either. I think that's why we are friends. So when I started working here in many different things, actually I was like saying, hey, we can improve this in the store. Like, we can do this. We can change these products in,
Thank you for this coffee, because it's amazing, by the way.
Thanks you. So I made it myself.
100% Colombian coffee, okay?
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Look at my coffee, Max. I love my coffee.
It says Camaleónicas. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can see it.
Camaleónicas TV.
Camaleónicas TV. I mean, the same that the logo says.
So, I was saying that I felt every time, and even now in my current job 9 to 5 current job, that when I express myself and say we can improve something, it's like you have to do your job,
And that's it.
and that's it. And then we also complain why everybody is doing their job, and that's it. Because if you don't listen, and most of the things that we can solve, because of communication. Like I always say, you just have to say it in the right time. If it's a purpose to increase the company's profit, if it's a purpose to make things fluent to work. But this is a culture where actually there's a lot of bureaucracy.
I'm going to put you this example. It's a specific one, a national director from the U.S. That I was working with. I worked with him 2 years because I was bringing him talents to his event. And the first year that I worked with him, one of my beauty queen was a favorite on all the event that he does. So she was always trending topic, because this was more about like social media. It was the moment when the reels start to be popular, like 3 years ago, 2022. And what happened that it's so fun is that on the last day of the this was not a pageant. It was like a competition to be the image of a brand. They don't her run up, and she don't even was in the top, and she was one of the favorites for everyone. And it's so funny because when I asked him, actually he don't give me the face, but he sent me the reason why mine girl did not get on the top. He says that first of all he don't like the way how he dressed, that she's the worst dressed that day, and second they say that she was cheating on social media to get that's ratings. So then I say, okay, so if you want to tell me that the ratings are not true, you need to go to each ones, because it's way to see when someone buys views and all this, and tell me, okay, this is not real or this is fake. To prefer to say that, you need to have the proof. And second, if you don't know fashion, if you don't know how this industry works, if you don't have the protocols, if you don't get exactly the knowledge to dress someone on the way how it should be for certain kind of events, you don't have the moral authority to impose yourself and says she was the worst dressed just because you don't like it. Because actually that girl was dressed by me, but it's so funny because most likely I always dress them by themselves, but I did that look with the channel E.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
So one of the fashion stylists from that channel made that look with me.
Oh.
We know that we was sucking that day, and he gave me that comment. I did not took it personal, but I knew that what the reason was something more fonder or convenient of what they were saying about the look. Mm-hmm. But the people don't like when they say something, or they wants to make you think that this happened because of this reason, but it's not actually a reason that is fundamental on just most like criteria. You need to have a real reasons, fundamental on knowledge than more than just criteria, because the criteria don't have fundamentals. It's just based on taste.
And how do you feel that social media can affect or can help actually to be in this contest? Because nowadays also I feel for everything in entertainment, acting, you hire sometimes actors that are just because of social media, but they don't have real, there are some that actually are good and some that actually don't have skills,
For example, now it's so common that on the TV you see people that is just influencers and they are trying to be like influencer, but on the TV. And for me, that don't looks nice, because, for example, I don't still social communication, but I'm here trying my best on doing on this interview. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to become part of the TV, because you need to have so much knowledge how to manage yourself. Because some people just try to. Don't take it wrong. I respect the influencer. It's really hard, and you need to have certain kind of knowledge, but you need to be yourself. And on TV, you need more than be yourself. You need a knowledge about how to use a prompt. You need a knowledge about communication. You need certain kind of skills. So, and I think that what you were saying, the people, the pageant is really important now. All this about the following, the social media, because it's what make you sell more the products that they are participating on it. For example, if you have a beauty queen and she have 4 millions of followers, and she became to be part of your pageant. Of course, the pageant is gonna get a platform so much big because she's going to make her platform yours. On in the case that she win, that platform will become yours. But for me, that is exactly what I was talking to you about the meritocracy, because you know, followers, they are not equal to value. They are not equal to passion. They are not equal to what I can bring. I see, you know, for me, I follow one woman that she talks a lot about human resources, and for me, I think that on we are in high school, we should learn how to work on human resources.
Yeah.
Because those skills are extremely important. For the reason I say, coach a beauty queen and be a beauty queen is so many tasks, because I need to learn about even human resources to know how to deal with them and how to deal with all the team. And she always says this: what you rather to have a person from the university that is going to tell you this is what I know and this is my time, or you rather to have someone that says I have some fundamentals but I have the passion, I really want to be here, I have the joy to do this job. Who you should contract? Most likely people contract the one that have the title.
Yeah.
But on the end of the day, you need to have a beauty queen that really wants to do the job. You need to have a beauty queen that you have a real human engaging, because you need to put the effort. Because I'm sure that if you find someone that have the grace and she's will have the willing to do it, she's gonna get the same amount of followers. But these organizations in the actuality, they don't want to work. They just want to take a platform and start making profits. And that, for example, is exactly what happened with Miss Grand International.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you hear about the scandal that happened.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I won't say I've followed it a lot. Yeah.
Miss India was the winner of 2025, I think, or 24. Don't judge me. My memory is not the best. I think this was 2024, but she resigned of her title because she says, I'm not here to sell cheap products on TikTok. I'm here, and we are women well-known in our countries with professional titles, and we are here to make things for the humanity. Of course, we need to make profits because this is a business.
Yes,
but we are here to do something more further than that. We need to inspire, to want to make another younger generation to participate on this pageant, or just to be a facing of a social fundraising, or the world have enough problems to at least wanting to work on one.
Yeah, from the beauty pageants, one that I personally love, and I know she's going to be one of the hosts of this new contest of Miss Latin Telemundo.
Miss Universe Latina.
Miss Universe Latina.
Yes.
It's Jackie Bracamontes. I really like that, for example, she has the passion for it. Like, she really prepared herself for this.
She was Miss Universe, Miss Mexico Universe.
Yeah, she studied, she prepared, she's a host, she's a mother of 5, which is crazy nowadays, but yeah, still, it's a lot of
mother
job.
of 5 kids, yes.
Yes, so, and that part, it's something that actually I think will help the new generations to learn like how she does it, because at the same time, many people, especially nowadays with social media, they want things easy.
They want things easy, and this is the thing. The people, or I don't want to say the people, but the new generation.
Yeah.
They are not willing to do a really effort. They just want to have everything easy. For example, I have this beauty queen, and on one moment of my career, and she was I think that she was 16, and her father was divorced, and this she always gets late to the classes. She always have a bad attitude, even when she's so extremely beautiful, and I know that she likes me. But I talked to the fathers about, okay, you need to separate your relationship from her because she's getting affected. And of course, she was not she's like she liked the cutter, but she was not wanting to do the force. Plus, the fathers don't want to take this journey as a serious journey. So in a point, I come to them and I tell, okay, this could not be, this deal is not gonna work. She needs to really know what she wants, because okay, I understand that your fathers are going through something, but you're having a really nice opportunity that some millions of girls are willing to have, and you are having it now. So, and I told her, if you really wants to continue working with me, this is are the standards rules that you need to follow, because for me it's not about you to compete. For me it's about you to succeed. So, and the mother was like, this is so much compromise for me, because I don't want to get involved in so much like this. And she was like, I like it, but I don't want to be practicing this much. I don't want to be doing this much. I don't want to. And I told her, maybe this is not what you want for your life.
Yeah, because actually there is somebody who is going to practice that much, who is wanted that much, who's going to sacrifice that much.
That's what you are doing. So, and that's what the new generation don't understand. They want everything so fast and quick, but you need to push yourself. You need to put the effort, because if not, basically you are doing nothing.
You know, right now, for example, I'm like already like 10 years in the market with Camaleónicas, but again, this is not. I started like the idea of a blog, but like everything in life, I said if I wanted to do it for real, I have to practice. So I had my background from theater, from body language, from all the stuff like that. Then I started studying Stylist in Peru, in Argentina. I studied blogging in Peru as well. I took virtual classes of New York. So I did prepare to have the blog. I didn't just want to be like, oh, I love this.
Yes.
And I think that yes, there's people with a special magic that can connect through the camera or and make other people happy, and that's okay. But it's not like the 8 million or whatever people active in any social media are going to do it and can live from that. So for the rest of us,
Yes.
you really have to work hard and achieve something.
Yes. And sometimes we see on pageants, why she won if she's not the most beautiful? Because the most beautiful one was not putting the effort that this girl was putting, and that effort made a big difference between her and the most beautiful one. Because I always say beautiful is something about her attitude, and her attitude is gonna make her achieve anything that she wants. Because what I told you is not about just being beautiful. Beautifulness, you can find it in so many places. But a beauty with purpose, beauty with a mission, beauty with a vision that is my goal and I'm going to go further to get on it, not everybody have it. And I think that is so important.
Sometimes it happens to me that I go to a supermarket, to a Costco, whatever, and I see a cashier, for example, and I said, oh, you should be a model. And so many times it has happened that I see a guy and said, oh, you should be a model, you're very handsome. My husband is right next to me, and I'm like, why are you saying this to a young cashier? Because he is handsome. You look at him, and the guy's like, oh, thank you. But I feel like you can recognize actually beauty or what you consider beauty, because beauty is so subjective everywhere.
Yes.
And not put it just in one simple face.
It's so funny, because when I start this career, if you compare my career with any other beauty queen coach, I think that the most difference in between me and the other ones, most likely the other ones, they work with the girls, or most likely the girls that they work on the successful industry, like on the actual pageantry level, it's girls that are coming from another academies, another coaching, another pageants. And my girls, I meet them on the streets. I meet them in random places, and I just see them, and I know that they have the capacity and the qualities to become a beauty queen. And this is so funny, because sometimes people says to me, you're crazy. She will not be able to it. She don't look like it. She don't have the attitude, and start like prejudging her qualities. And I say, okay, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want this to sound bad. I don't need you to believe on her. I am the one that need to believe on her, because I have what you don't have, and I have my vision and my purpose with her. And on the end of the year, because most likely the coaching with me take up an average of 1 year, 8 months. When they see them, they say, "Oh, but now she really looks like a beauty queen," because now she put the effort, now she put the sacrifice of everything that she needs to do to become. For a reason, I like this phrase from Michelle Obama, because my became, because you became to be what you always was wanting on your life. When they became the beauty queen and they take it inside, and what I see that is inside, and they express it out, and you see it, the people is like, wow. Now I see the Marco's vision, but most likely that's come not only because they have the qualities. Because what I told you, even when they have the quality, I saw it because they have the capacity. When other people see it, when you have the quality, but the willing to became, then is when you became a really successful person.
At this moment, we're going to take a pause, so please come and enjoy a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom. If you want to go for a cup of wine, go for a cup of wine. So we'll see you in 1 minute after the sponsors. Thank you so much.
We are going to share.
Welcome back, and let's see what other secrets we can have from Marco. So for you, in this path through all these pageants, what have you learned about this process in the US market?
Well, the US market is totally different than the other market that I was working, because, for example, in Venezuela, they have like a different culture about beauty. It's more about you need to become on this standard. On the US, it's more like you're going to be yourself. Mm-hmm. I feel that US is less strict for saying a certain kind of way, and I think that on the American market, it's more important your message and your speech than the way how you walk and you project on the scenario. No, I mean, I think in Peru now it's the same, but in Venezuela it's totally the opposite. The most important thing is how you look and how you walk.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember since I'm from the 90s, so since I have memory, Miss Venezuela was Miss Venezuela. Nobody could beat those girls.
Yeah, it's a really high-end standard, but I actually am not the kind of beauty queen coach that say, oh, I don't like that. I said I really like it because you set as example of excellence. If you, for example, you want to study another the best of universities, you cannot be average. You have to be someone that really put the effort on it to have the really amazing grades. That you show that you have a really strong coefficient. And for me, that secure your industry. I mean, your like the family of the profession. Like the community of the professionals on that area and that come from the university. Because if you start putting lower standards, you make everybody be able to get in, even when they don't have the qualities, the intelligence. You say an example. But it's what I told you. One thing you have standards, and another thing is the mean, is try to be aggressive with the girls or try to mark them for life. And I think that for that reason is what I told you. You have to be professional. You need to know how to do your job, and you need to have the whys. That's the most important thing, the why.
And I was living and working in Peru, and I actually was, I'm not wearing a lot of makeup daily, but I'm very good about creating content for makeup artists, for people in general. So, especially articles. And I was hired for companies to actually do blogs of beauty or, strategies of communication. And I do remember, like the last 3 years before the pandemic hit, how much I was grateful because thankfully to the migration of Venezuelan women, I had a lot of job because the standards of beauty and the makeup because of the industry actually of beauty pageants, increased a lot in my country as well. You know, before Peruvian girls, yes, they did wear makeup, but they were very classic in makeup. They were not very risky, and you could see from the inside world, from the beauty companies world, how many products varieties became to the country, how many things increased, how many standards of beauty changed.
I'm going to put you this example. When the Miss Venezuela starts on the in 1970 with Osmel Sousa, Osmel Sousa was not from Venezuela. He was from Cuba.
Oh.
The main designer from Miss Venezuela in those years was Guy Mollet, and Guy Mollet was from French. The producer of the Benevision and Miss Venezuela was two from Cuba. And and when you start seeing the backgrounds of these people, they are completely from outside Venezuela. And for me, something so beautiful, I know that we don't talk about politics, but in general, is when you really see the potential that a certain kind of international migration could be even for an industry company or for a country, and you take the benefit away because each culture have the bad and the positive things. You can make your culture or business grow so much because basically you are bringing another point of view, you are bringing something different, and you're bringing a different talent because each culture develop different talents because each culture focus more on something. For Europe, these girls they're more willing to practice disciplines, and for example, when they come to the Latin America or even the US, they are more successful because they practice more stronger. They came with more technique because they are more willing there to learn on a more open schedule, for example. So I think that show you how we can grow the different markets with the different communities. I love, for example, that with the social media, we have so many new designers for Pageant that they are from Asia. I seen them in the past. We only have the same fashion designers for all the pageants. Now you have young generation of designers that they have extremely good talents, but they are willing to put their designs out. And thanks to the social media, we are be able to see it. We can get in contact with them even if we are on different continents, and they can just ship the dress to us. And the prices sometimes are really, really competitive, like less they have than the other one.
Do you feel you have become more competitive through these years, or that you have find a path to compete with your own self and you change your standards?
Okay, I think that it's so funny because even when it's more access education, I think that thanks to the social media, the people just because, for example, on runway, you see these runway coaches and they do spins, they do risky spins, or they risky poses. That is not runway. That is not technique. So I think we are now more. When you are on your email and you have you say how you say spam. So for example, I really believe that today on the Beauty Queen Cutter we have so much spam. We have so much content that is make a lot of volume and it's taking a lot of people, but that is creating like a space where we are missing so many beauty queens at right education. And they are not able to get access to actually what it is the truth of became a beauty queen or became a model. Because in the old times, you have to go to an academy. You have to go to what is instructor. Now is you can give you some class. And just because I have 1,000 followers, I'm a professional. But professional is it's something more, so much more further than just what they talk about followers.
Besides all this market, all this journey, what do you feel or how do you see yourself in the future with your new projects, if you can tell about?
Okay, it's new projects on the way, not because everything is on silence, meaning that it's nothing getting cooked. I have my eye in an international pageant, and I want to get a new franchise. We are in conversation, but nothing is it's set already, and nothing is set because I'm working on a new project here in the US that is really making me so excited about it. But I see myself on the future having my own pageant, but I want to have a business more related to the image and my beauty industry, because for me pageants make me fun. I enjoy it so much, but I don't want to be 100% on it. being my responsible. For example, if I get contracted by an organization like Miss Venezuela, this is example, and they told me, Marcos, this is Pageant here. You're going to work with the TV, and you only need to work with production, and make the actual pageant become reality. I tell you, I will work 100%. But when the other responsibility about everything in general is on my shoulders, it's a lot of work, and I lose, I get lost a little bit the joy, because I need to be working on about budget, look for a sponsor, more than just the creative part. It's like when you are a studio fashion designer, for example, and you just enjoy to be designer, you sew and all this. You don't want to be dealing with the marketing. You don't want to be dealing with the accountability things. You get professionals like you to help us.
Oh, call me.
Oh, of course, but the thing is, for that reason, I don't see myself 100% on pageants, just only living from that. But I think that I want to really have at least one franchise that I do every year to have fun and enjoy it, and change the life of new teenagers.
How do you feel you can balance what you want and also the challenging part? Nowadays, how are you managing?
Is first of all, I say that I have the Osmel Sousa technique. Osmel Sousa, I don't know if I mentioned it, was the director of Miss Venezuela for 40 years. And I studied his career. I know his life like on my hand, because I really admire him. I think that he's a genius on the beauty industry. And something that she always does, even, and when you see his life on so many aspects, you realize that he have a pattern to be successful. Even when he's not the best on something, he find the best on that thing that he's needing, and he learn from it, and he work with them. Every time that I have a specific task or something that I don't know how to deal with it, or I feel that I need to learn more, what I do, I find someone that can be able to guide me, work with me head to head, and just do it, and learn from them how I can become more productive on that aspect. For example, I really think that I need to learn more about Instagram. I need to learn more about speaking. I need to learn more about social media content in general, because even when I am a millennial, in Latin America, or at least in Venezuela, we was not as modern as on the US, that you don't use books, you use tablets. I grew up in my high school studying with books, so I'm not so used to the technology. But for example, I learned about speaking classes, how I can train their girls at least on the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
I learned too about how I can work with them, at least to prepare their Instagram, and create them the fundamental and the base, so as I working their image with a vision and purpose, and make it more clean to work with brands. So you don't have to be the professional on everything, because of course you're going to be. I think that you're going to be the best. For example, I think that I don't want to say the best, but I feel it's my best quality on task is on creating your image with the clothes and the looks changes, and the runway. So you take your strengths, but your weakness. I don't like to say your weakness. I like to call them aspects that you need to learn more. I always I'm willing, and I try to learn as much as I can from people that I consider the best on their qualities and professional skills.
Let's talk about a little bit the runway. So for people who believe runway is just walking, let's get out of that idea, because actually runway is something more. How can you explain what runway is to the public? Because yes, it involves walking, but actually I think it involves projection, involves character, involves attitude all the time to attract people when you are on the stage. So it's not like, oh, she's just walking, because everybody can walk. But
walking is about being a statement whatever you put your feet on. And to me, you don't make me this question, but when I get an interview, they ask me, what is beauty for you? And he always said beauty is the capacity, is the projection capacity to catch the attention of the people when you get in a space. Because some people just say, oh, they are so beautiful, but the people don't realize it. Sometimes a woman getting in a place and they say, oh my God, she's so magnetic, but we don't know what she has. She's not that beautiful. Well, she's beautiful because she has that capacity to catch your attention. The runway is the same. For a reason, my runway, my signature runway is my Babylonian swing, where I teach them how to have the right posture on the shoulders, the arm, the hips, how to break the hips, the knees, how they should put the knees, and the way how they put their feet on the floor when you have the heel, when you have platform. So it's a kind of technique and skill about posture and body language, but it's too about getting on performance. Because sometimes they say, oh, it's about to walk and give attitude. No. I always said to them, you need to give me Shakira, you need to give me Beyonce, you need to give me Mariah Carey. Why? Because these women are not the same that when they are on the houses, when they are on the stage. They perform an attitude, they give you emotion, they are able to catch you with their eyes. And sometimes the girls, the new generation say, oh, but that's not me. But we don't want to know about you when you're on stage. We want to know about how you can express yourself. You know, it's similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I understand that, and I do believe it's true. And now that I think about it, if I remember your Instagram, you're right. There is something about the movement of your pageants, the shoulders. I noticed the shoulders. You're right. There is something about the way they pose.
You know, for example, now we have so many girls, and I'm seeing, but I know you're going to realize this. Some girls, when they walk, they do this. You know, and this is completely wrong, because your body language should be, I'm really svelte and elongate myself, but my movement should be on my hips. The thing that should break is my arms, and I need to see my face. I need to be able to give you multiple emotions, maybe be more spicy, maybe more smiley. That is what creates engaging, because you sell your projection. You are not selling it just a cloth. You sell yourself, your energy. For a reason, I always tell them, you need to perform. And of course, the secret with the shoulder, you put your shoulder, you see them, and you smile, and you break your neck.
Yeah.
That is one of my secrets. I don't know when to tell you exactly when to do it, or more further than that. But that is a kind of detail that when the beauty queens do it, they like it more. For example, I always said, if you have a camera there, and for example, they are going to pose here, they can put the legs like this, and they can put like this, and look different. Of course, the camera is more up, of course. But if I have the camera in front of me and I put my chin with my shoulder, I'm gonna look so much more mysterious than a regular pose. So because these tell me emotion, or this, but it's not the same that when you are normal, you sit like this. But it's what I was saying, the same on the runway. It's not about be yourself. It's about to perform emotions and give them something, because that's what they want. You are you enough, and for the reason you are there.
Yes.
But what about of you? You can take it as a superior and make me a perform with that you are.
And when after these classes and after all these pageants, when these girls come back to you and talk to you, because I know you have if it's not all of them, with most of them, you have a really good relationship. What did they tell you? How did they feel after they went with you to all this journey?
You never saw the movie Nanny McPhee? You remember that movie?
Animal Pete, the one of the pigeons?
No, it's this babysitter from the old time that she have like a magic broom, and when she want to say no magic broom, it's a broom that she like knock it to the floor and something happen.
Oh, okay.
And every time that the kids learn something, she's getting prettier and prettier and prettier.
Oh.
You remember the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
So she said to the kids, "I will be here while you need me and you don't like me. When you don't need me and then you like me, I will have to leave." And it's the same for my pageant girls. I tell them, you're gonna hate me, but you're going to need me. But when you love me and then you don't need me because you learn what you need to learn, it will be your time to grow. most likely all my pageant girls love me. It's only one I don't have the best relationship with her, not because we fight or something. It's just about because we have different perspectives about how I like to work on my things, and because I'm really into perfection, and I know that we cannot do perfection, but you can strive at least and try your best. But on my community of pageant, sometimes they are like kind of mean with me after their pageant, but they always call me, when the emotions come down and
Yeah.
and they give me the call and they say, thank you. And I feel really thankful for having you in my life, for really feel, I remember one of my beauty queens, and the scene that I told you this on my honor for interview, she was being first runner up, and when she come down to the pageant, I was so sad, and because I was thinking that she went to be so sad because she just lose, and for me, and even for some of the judges, she told me she was a winner, and she come to me and she hugged me, and I was trying to, and I was crying because it was so sentimental, and I was going to try to make her feel better, but she was the one that was wanting me to feel better, and she told me, Marcos, by first time in my life, I was able to finish something that I started with excellence, and that never happened to me before. I'm so thankful and grateful to have you, and thank you for being here. And that moment, even when she was a girl that gave me so much like tension on the process, because sometimes she was wanting to do it, but she gets frustrated with herself, so she was needing more like a motivational coaching. I say everything was completely worth it, because she's a completely new woman after the pageant, and then is when I say it's not about winning. Of course you want to win, but that is a mission. But the purpose is not about to win. The purpose is about to grow as a human being, as a woman, and that for me is the best of the best. And of course, gratitude. I feel so blessed because almost all my beauty queens have like a big gratitude, and it's sometimes on my birthday, sometimes on Christmas, New Year Eve, special occasion. I always receive their message. I always receive the invitation to special parties on their family.
No.
So that made me feel that was more than a work, was about a family friendship, and that's the way how I wanted to feel.
And for you, after all this love, because I feel like you actually work with these girls for creating that special relationship. Do you think you could work again with them if they want to come back for Mrs. Universe?
Of course, I mean, most likely all my beauty queens, they don't only do a pageant; they do multiple pageants. But sometimes I have one or two that nothing could be perfect. They are kind of complicated, and I feel okay. This was like a chapter that I need to close because they learn what I need to learn, and they get from me what they need to get from me. But sometimes they need to learn from themselves. That is not about just do it. It's about you need to learn how to follow rules and strive to be excellent. And as I told you, if they don't strive to be excellent, that for me is not an option. So for me, you are not going to be perfect, but you're going to try to it. And of course, if you fail in the process, you're a human being. It's fine, but you are not going to fail just because you are not trying.
What has been the most beautiful things this industry and this market has given you through these years? What will they be?
I mean, related to the people, I think that I was able to help so much women, and I feel that that gives me so much cure to myself, because help someone to heal is healing you inside out. But as me personally, like as a human being, I feel that I I when I remember all these scenarios that I went through, I feel so grateful, and I feel so that my life has been so meaningful for a lot of people, because I feel that God gave me the capacity to help people grow on their personality, on their image, And I think that this is superficial. This is not superficial, because the way how you see is the way how you feel with yourself, and be able to help people to feel better with themselves, but not just talking
Not everything.
on reality actions.
Yes.
And they're really blessed for my life and making me feel that I have a purpose of my life. For every I told you, want to have another characters that make me, at the moment, are going to give me more profits. But the pageants are always going to be there, because for me are so meaningful, and I'm so grateful to be on this industry, because not everybody that is in the industry have the pleasure to say that they do it because they likes it, and I have the pleasure to say that I do it because I feel that I'm born from this, and that is a gift that I don't take any granted. I honor it every day of my life.
Finally, what would you tell to the people that, or the girls, especially the teenagers who dream to be, well, not just the candidate for a Miss Universe, they also dream to be beautiful.
Well, being beautiful is a decision, because if you don't feel good with your weight, for example, okay, let's start to take action about how we are eating, about how exercise you are doing. Because if you are not feeling good with your body, maybe you don't feel good with your mentality. So that maybe you need to exercise, and then that is going to make you feel better, and then you're going to need to go to the psychology, or maybe you need to start finding your purpose. So I think that being a beautiful is like the happiness. It's not in a moment when you get in and you, okay,
Yeah.
I'm the perfect. No, it's a constantly evolving actions because you're going to get older, but you still will keep your beautiful inside out, and that is exactly because being beautiful is a constantly decision and action of an energy and an attitude that you give to others. So never say, I mean, like Justin Bieber, never say never, but because even when other people tell you you cannot or you will not, I'm telling you, you can. You just need to put your effort and try the best of yourself and get the education. The other day I was reading a book and they say knowledge is power, but knowledge is not power. That is a mistake. Action is power, because so many people have knowledge but they don't have the action, and I really think that is the thing about everything.
Thank you so much, Marco, for being here. It's been such a pleasure for being my first guest. We did it!
Yes, thank you so much. I feel so blessed to be here, and it's my first interview that actually I record in English. So thank you for being so understanding and patient with me, and thank you to everyone. I really feel blessed to be here. And if anyone have any question or want to get coaching, my Instagram is Style by Marco Babilonia. No, Style by Marco. And my personal Instagram is by Marco Babilonia. On this Instagram, you will be able to see everything that I do on my personal life and fashion. And on the Style by Marco, you will be able to do my work styling women. So you're both welcome on both Instagrams, and I'm there for you and for every woman that wants to feel beautiful with themselves.
Thank you so much.
See you.